Hey guys, in today's video I want to find out what the best paint in the UK is. So I've bought a whole range of different paints, and the idea of the video is to find what the best matte paint in the UK is. So if I just grab the camera a sec and bring you in a little closer. I've bought a whole range of different paints. Go along the line here. And there's plenty of different manufacturers, from cheap ones to very expensive quality paints. I've got DIY paint, trade paint, pretty much all the best reviewed paints that I could find on the market. I'm going to be testing today with these samples. So if I just run you down the line, I've got Optiva 5 from Tikkurila, the Trade Dulux sample, Little Green, Johnson's Perfect Matte. Oh, hello. You want out? Yeah, I'll let you out. Off you pop. Sorry about that. Got Zinsser Perma White, Paint and Paper Library, the Dulux DIY, Craig and Ross, Good Home, Benjamin Moore Aura, Farrow & Ball, Isomatte Premium, Johnson's Acrylic Durable Matte, Crown, Stain Resistant Scrubbable Matte, Cover Plus Vinyl Matte, and All Clean Scrubbable Interior Matte right on the end there. So the idea of the test is I've got all of these in white all the way down the line, obviously to make it a fair test here, and I've got my plasterboard sheet up here, and I've just run black lines all the way through it, as you can see. And I want to test for the opacity, so you know how see-through the paint is, because obviously the better coverage you get, the better, and yeah, how well it covers as well. So as you can see, I've got 16 different paints, and then 16 different sections all the way along the plasterboard there, and we're going to just test it each one at a time. I've got a paintbrush right here, so I'm going to use the same paintbrush every time. I'll clean it out and dry it, so that's an Arrow-worthy paintbrush. And like I say, what I'm going to do as well is make sure I use the same quantity of paint every time, because I want to make this test as fair as possible. So it's all the same colour in white. And the other thing is you can tint most of these paints, so obviously if we find out what the best performing paint is in white, then you know, once you tint it, that's not really going to make any difference to the performance. So a fair playing field, you know, across the whole range there. I'm going to use these little plastic syringe type things to get the same quantity of paint for each section we do up on the board there. So you know, each sample it's fairly done. It's going to be the same paintbrush, like I say. I'll clean it and dry it out after each use to ensure that's fair. I've got some in these tins, you might have noticed. So what I've done there is, when I've been out and about painting and decorating, is I've been getting samples. So I've taken a little sample out of the Perfect Matte, a sample out of the Acrylic Durable Matte. I've taken one from the Zinsser Scrubbable Interior Matte as well, and the Benjamin Moore Aura as well I've done. So as you can see, there's a couple in these sort of plain tins where I've just taken a small sample before I've got the paint tinted, so we can test them as well. And like I say, it's a whole range of different manufacturers, different price points, and the idea is to find out what the best, A, what the best value of money is, and B, you know, the top performing paint, and is it worth paying that little bit extra money. So yeah, that's basically the first test that I'm going to conduct here, and then from that, I think what I'll do is I'll take the 5 best performers, and then we'll run a second test to see which one actually comes out on top. So that's the plan. I'm going to crack on with it now, and we'll see how we get on.
So first up, we've got the Little Green. Next on the list is the Johnson's Acrylic Durable Matte, followed by the Johnson's Cover Plus Vinyl Matte. Then we've got the Perma White Mould Resistant Paint, followed by the Vinyl Matte Trade from Dulux. Then we've got the Perfect Matte from Johnson's, then the Tough and Durable Good Home paint, followed by the Farrow & Ball. Next on the list is the Dulux DIY paint, then the Paint and Paper Library, then Craig & Ross, followed by the Crown Stain Resistant Scrubbable Matte. Then we've got Optiva 5, then the Premium Isomatte. Next up is the Benjamin Moore Aura, and finally we've got the All Clean Scrubbable Interior Matte by Zinsser.
Okie dokes, it's the following day now. I've let the paint dry overnight and here are the results. So what I've done here is I've just ranked the results basically. Hold on, let me get a better shot of this. So I've just ranked the results from 1st to 16th. I'll put a graphic up on the screen now so you can see clearly how I've ranked it, and you can probably see, hopefully the light is good enough that you can see for yourselves the ones that have performed well and the ones that haven't. For instance, we've got one of the worst performers here, and then one of the better performers. You can see there's a considerable difference there in how much coverage we've got. So if I start from this end and work my way down, the DIY Dulux come last. 15th place was the Cover Matte Plus, then the Isomatte Premium, then the Dulux Trade, the Craig & Ross Good Home, Farrow & Ball, Zinsser All Clean Scrubbable Interior Matte, Johnson's Acrylic Durable Matte, the Crown Scrubbable Matte, then the Perma White from Zinsser, and in the top 5 was the Optiva 5, Paint and Library, Little Green, Benjamin Moore, and the winner that I think had the best results was the Johnson's Perfect Matte, which was, so as you can see there's numbers on top here, so the 6 corresponds to 6 along, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I've ranked that finish first place. As you can see, that's given a really nice crisp finish for one coat. And then the Benjamin Moore was the 15th one I've done, and that come second. So as you can see again, really nice finish on the Benjamin Moore. And so yeah, looking at these, generally speaking, it looks like the more expensive paints, it's worth paying the extra money from the results. Little Green and Paint Library did really well, and actually they're the same company, I believe, so it's no surprise the performance was very similar there. The Optiva 5 and the Zinsser Perma White I think offer really good value for money, and then going down the line the Crown was decent as well. And then all the way down to the back end here, the Dulux DIY was really bad. I mean, look at the state of that. And, you know, it's all had the exact same amount of paint on each one, just the coverage and opacity is just awful in comparison to some of the other paints. The other thing I noticed was the Johnson's is very much what you pay for is what you get. So you've got one that's come in first place, the Perfect Matte, one that's come mid-table, which was the Acrylic Durable Matte, and that's a mid-price paint, and then the cheaper paint from Johnson's, the Cover Plus, is actually one of the worst performing paints. So generally it does seem you get what you pay for.
So here's just a quick graphic of the paints rated from 1 to 16, so you can pause this a moment and check out the list if you like.
So like I said earlier on, what I'll do now is I'll get the top 5 paints, which is these 5. And I'll do a separate test with these 5 just to see if we can differentiate them and see which one is best. So I'll crack on with that now. Okay, so here we are, next plan of action. I've got my tape and I've just taped off 5 sections again. This time I'm going to use this trade pack of rollers, so each time I do a section I'll change the roller out. Same thing that applied as before, so I'll get a quantity of paint and I'll put the same quantity on each section and we'll see how we get on. I just want to see how well it covers, and I don't think it's going to be much difference, to be honest. These are the top 5 now, so it'll probably be quite hard to differentiate between them, but I'll give it a go anyway and see if there's any standout winner.
So the first paint I'm applying is the Optiva 5. Next on the list is the Benjamin Aura. Then we have the Little Green. Next is the Johnson's Perfect Matte. And then finally we've got the Paint and Paper Library.
Okay, so here we go. Before this paint's even dry, I can kind of see the results. So I'd say first and second are pretty obvious. The Johnson's Perfect Matte and the Benjamin Moore Aura. I'd say the Benjamin Moore Aura hasn't covered quite as good as the Perfect Matte. So I think first place is the Johnson's Perfect Matte, by the look of that, compared to, it's not a lot in it, but I just think the Perfect Matte covered slightly better. I mean, it's a coin flip really, both of them are excellent paints, but I'd give first to the Perfect Matte, second to the Benjamin Moore Aura. Third is a sort of tie between Little Green and the Paint and Paper Library. I think on balance the Paint and Paper Library is probably slightly better, so third for that one, fourth for Little Green, and then the Optiva 5, still a very good paint but didn't quite cover as well as the rest.
So in conclusion then, the Johnson's Perfect Matte came in first place, in second place was the Benjamin Moore Aura, and in third place was the Paint and Paper Library. So that's the top 3 paints right there. If money's no object, then go for one of them 3. If you are a bit more budget conscious, I've put some good value paints in as well. So there's the Perma White from Zinsser, the Crown Scrubbable Matte, and the Good Home Tough and Durable paint. I included the Good Home because it's the cheapest paint on the list and it still performed reasonably well. Hopefully this video has been useful to someone. If it has, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks for watching, guys.